Hello sunshines, welcome to Bunnyfish Crafts. I'm your host Heather, known as Bunnyfish on all sorts of social media. And today is January 30th, 2026. It is a Saturday. It is the last day of the month, and it is the first time that I'm going to do one of these. I guess I'm going to call it a monthly wrap-up video. So I tend to do vlogs and put them together every week or two, but I don't really talk about what I consider to be long-term projects in my vlogs. Those are projects that I work on fairly regularly, but don't look very impressive day to day, and I have a lot of them. But I do work on them regularly. I try to work on them ideally I would work on them every week on the weekends, but sometimes my weekends are busy, so I can't do that. But at least 3 out of 4 weekends a month, I work on these projects. And they deserve some time in the spotlight, like my other projects. So I'm not going to go with these in any particular order. I have them in a laundry basket right now. So I'm going to show them to you as I pull them out of the laundry basket. And then they kind of live on this shelving unit over here. I want to reorganize this shelving unit right here and see if I can get some of them on there as well, because there's not a ton of space over here. And so things kind of fall off. But anyway, let's get started. So the thing that is on top is a wedding blanket for my cousin. I started this in December 2025, just barely. I did like the first maybe 2 rows with the intent of it needs to be finished by August. And my goal is to work a row on it every day, or, an average of a row per day. So 7 rows a week. And so far I have been successful. I haven't done today's row, and I just pulled some stitches out, so I'm fixing that really quick. But the pattern is called Side by Side by NSP Designs, and this is how much I did in a month. I used 1 full ball of Loops and Threads Color Craft in the color 26004, because my aunt says that my cousin's favorite color is beige, and my aunt approved the color because it's not like super beige, but it's kind of beige. So anyway, I'm going to show you it from end to end because it's really, really lovely. It's got, so this is the middle. So it's got these 2, it's mirrored. It's got this panel here that is the same as this panel here, and then mirrors back to these other crocheted cables. And you wouldn't think it, but this is fairly, mindless is not the right word. It's fairly easy to do without having to look too much. Like, I can work on this and read at the same time. Do I glance down fairly frequently to make sure that I'm going into the right space for the first stitch of a section? Sure. But it's not impossible to, glance up at the page and then glance down at the work, and I don't have to constantly be like, what am I doing next? It's too much to take to a movie to crochet on. I feel like to a movie theater. I don't think I could do, could I do it in the dark? I probably could. I probably could do it by feel, because even this, so I'm working on this cable section right here. Even this cable, it's very textured. It's really easy to feel the stitches. I'm using a J 5.75 millimeter hook on this. So I probably could work on this at the movie theater. Huh. I think I could work on this at the movie theater. Good to know. You know, I'm always considering what I can take to the movie theater and what I can't. So that's exciting. But okay, let me put it away. Let me stop crocheting on this and show you the next thing. The next project out of my basket is like quintessential movie knitting. Okay, so I think the last time you saw it was here. But this is where I was at the beginning of the year. I think. So this is a cowl for my sister, and I am using scraps of leftover bits of yarns with pink, purple, or blue as the predominant color. I wanted, like, if I had enough purple to just do purple, that's what I would have done because it's our favorite color, but I just don't have that much. And actually, after making this project and the scrappy blankets, I think I have 2 minis that aren't in this bag that have any purple in them at all. And there's not very much in this bag. So I'm going to have to knit more things that have purple in the yarn. I think I'm going to throw some black aja in here, even though it's not blue or purple or pink. It does have blue blips on a black background, so I think I'm going to count it. The parameters for this cowl are that it's fingering weight yarn, superwash, because my sister can't be trusted to have anything that's hand wash only. And the maximum thickness of a stripe is 10 rounds, because I just like, I didn't want to have super thick stripes. There are a few repeat colors in here. I don't know. Are these 2 stripes a repeat? I can't tell. No, I think they're 2 different colors. They're just really close. But I am fairly certain that some of these have repeated. Like I've done a 10 round stripe. Oh, I think these 2 might be the same color, or they might just be yarns that are really close. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, they're just 2 yarns that are really close together in color. But yeah, if I used it and it made a 10 round stripe, I could have put it back in the bag to be used later. When I was here, I had a quarter of the project left to go. So I'm still quite a ways off, but I don't need this done until next year, 2027. So my goal is, because all of these projects have like a goal, is to do 2 rounds on this per week. That doesn't mean it's getting a lot of progress every month, but it is making a tiny bit of progress. There is forward momentum on the project. So I don't think I'm going to tell you the goals every video, but maybe. My next project is in these 2 boxes, which I am repurposing for this, and it is a spinning project. So I started this in December too, and I don't know, maybe put 20 minutes on it in December, but my goal is 5 minutes every day. And look, the fiber is lovely. I'll show you the tag in a moment. So this is my first half, but not like accurate half, just my first eyeball half. So you can see the braid is kind of thick. It's got these blue aqua colors with this plummy purple and white bits. And then the second box, the fiber is split into smaller slivers. So the braid is skinnier and there's much more of that like There's much more variation in the color, kind of. I don't, how do I say what I'm trying to say? The color sections are smaller. So when they are spun up, the lengths of color will be smaller. And the fiber is Supernova Dyeworks in the colorway Pondering My Orb. It's 100% superwash merino, 21.5 micron, approximately 4 ounces. And it is lovely. It's lovely to spin. Just, 5 minutes a day. And it is getting spun. It's very exciting. It's amazing how when you actually work on things, progress gets made. Who knew? And then I feel it's only natural to segue into another spinning project that I have. And this one, my goal is to spin 15 minutes a week. So I have this beautiful spindle, which is a Thomas creation. Can you see that? Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I love this. It continues to be probably my favorite spindle, just because it's so pretty. I mean, it's green. If it's green, I'm all about it. So I don't have that much fiber left to spin. This is what I have left of the braid, which is not an insignificant amount, but it's not a huge amount. The fiber is from Deviant Fiber, and it's called Our Endless Numbered Days. And I kind of think that maybe I want to also put it in a box instead of a bag to protect my spindle. I think I might do that. But also on this project, I already have a turtle that I finished off last year at some point. So poor little turtle losing some of its wrapping. So yeah, I've spun a bunch of this fiber. I just haven't finished it. And I started the spin years ago, and then I stopped spinning for a while. And it feels like it's time. It feels like it's time to get back to crafts that I really like to do, but for whatever reason, I just got away from. I mean, I know that I stepped away from a lot of my crafts very heavily when I broke up with my boyfriend who lived with us, and that put my whole life in upheaval. And right after that, I became a teacher full-time instead of being a one-on-one para. So that was 2023, wasn't it? Or 2022? 2022, I'm pretty sure, if my math is mathing. I'm at 3.5 years of teaching. So 3.5 years ago and a couple months, my life went into upheaval, and I just stopped working on things. So I'm feeling like I'm getting back into the groove of doing the things that I want to do, which is a great segue into my next project. I have this cross stitch. I'll put a picture up over here of what the kit looks like. I think you can find it on eBay still, but it's not sold on the website. So it's gonna say coffee. What else does it say on here? Hold on. Coffee, brewed, cappuccino, latte, espresso, dark roast, milk, sugar. So it's going to be really, really cute. I've had this going for a very long time, several years, many years. But then I just stopped. I stopped cross-stitching, stopped spinning, barely knit or crochet for a while there too. But I just finished a cross stitch in January, the Maleficent cross stitch. which I'm going to put at the end. I think at the end of these videos, I'm just going to have like a picture of each of my FOs for the month and a picture of the books that I read. But then I was like, oh, I really do like cross stitch and embroidery. And then I made a bookmark for my sister using embroidery. And I was like, you know, I should pull out this coffee cross stitch because it's not very difficult. I do have to have good light because it's on black fabric. It's on whatever came in the kit, which I don't have all the paperwork for. So I don't know. I don't know what type of fabric this is. I would guess Ada, but I don't know for sure. And I'm using the thread that came in the kit, which is Janlin Dyeworks white. But yeah, like my hope is on days where there's sun, like today. Well, it's not even sun. Okay. It's overcast outside, but it's bright enough in my room that I can work on this without hurting my eyes. I'm hoping on days like that, to just put in one length of the thread. So it's going to be slow progress, but you know, I can always change my mind. Like when the summer hits and it is actually sunny and I can see really, really well, because I'm not super old, but I'm 40 almost. I'll be 40 in May. And you know, my eyes are almost 40. So sometimes they struggle. So yeah, I want to work on this. And I want it to be finished because I actually think it would look really cute. At my boyfriend's house, he's got a little coffee bar. I don't even really drink coffee. Like, I will drink a coffee if people are having coffee, like, and there's flavored creamer, because I don't like the way coffee tastes. So I will have a coffee, but I'd rather have a chai or any type of tea. So it's not really like something that I need for my space, but I think it would be so cute over his coffee bar. And then this is just kind of a bonus thing that I'm not actually counting, but I do have a little bit of carrot for myself because I finished a cross stitch. I will at some point finish this cross stitch. And when I do finish this cross stitch, because I'm also going to finish an embroidery project in February, when I finish this, I have this cute Sally. She's so cute and she's going to be so fast. But I'm not going to let myself start until, okay, maybe not finish this, because she's going to be fast, right? What if, I'm not really going to show you the chart, but I'm going to like flash the chart just a little. If I do all the stitching on the top half, then maybe I can do that before I stitch the bottom half. That would be so cute, right? Okay, goals. Because I found her again and I was like, oh, she's so cute. And I was like, no, you will not. You will not. So I will not until I do the top half of this. So she's just going to sit there and look at me. I'm going to put her up on the shelf behind me in just a moment. She's just going to watch me to be like, hey, how's that cross stitch coming along? Because it's going to be so cute when it's done. I just have to work on it. And by this point, you must be like, surely she's almost done. No, I'm not. Another long-term project is this thigh high that I'm making for my oldest kiddo. I finished the first one last year. And so my goal is to finish the second one this year. But my goal for every week is just to do 2 rounds. I did more than that last month because I was, or maybe not last month, but like since the last time you saw it, which was sometime back in Vlogmas, I did more than that because I finished up a pair of Croy socks and I knit those on US size 1. And this thigh high is knit on US size 1 until I get down to the calf where like a normal sock would start. And then I switch it over to US size 0s. And also I am making some toys, some motivational monsters for my leadership team at work. And that's on the same needle. So when I'm increasing at the top and decreasing at the bottom, I'm working on this project. There's a squirrel right outside my window on the fence. It's like 4 feet away. Oh, I'm sorry. It was so cute. Literal squirrel. So it'll get done. 8 rounds a month doesn't sound like a lot, but there will come a time later this year where I get down to that calf and then I'm like, oh, it's just knitting a sock, and it will fly. But until I get there, it feels very, very arduous is not the right word, but it's the word that's coming to my brain. It's a lot, and it doesn't, I'm not like, oh yeah, I want to pick that up and work on it. I'm like, okay, let me work on it because I do want my kid to have it. She's super knitworthy. She wears the other 2 pairs that I knit her like all the time. So she didn't specifically request this pair, but there was this yarn and it's like colors that kind of reminded me of her. She put them in the order she wanted for the thigh high, which is not the order I would have put them in, but it's not my thing. So yeah, 2 rounds on that a week. And then I have this project, which is for my aunt. It is a wrap, and I'm not using a pattern. Oh, I forgot. I'm almost done with this white ball of yarn that's attached right now. My goal for the wrap is 6 garter ridges a week. No, 6 rows a week, which is 3 garter ridges a week. And so since the beginning of the month, I did this. That's so good. But then I made a mistake and I like kind of fixed it, but also I might just need to rip back the rows, but also I might just put like an applique over it. So here, we'll start here. Going across, we're going great, I can work on this one I'm reading, except when I actually accidentally change a knit 2 together section into a yarn over section. And this is the second time this has happened in this project. But the first time it was much closer to, like, I didn't knit quite so many ridges. And so now I have this, which I like kind of fixed, but it's not cute. So, but I don't want to rip out 10 rows of knitting. Maybe I should rip out those 10 rows of knitting, but I'm not going to. The white yarn that I'm using is Knit Picks Stroll in the white colorway. And this is just some mohair that my aunt gave me. She gave me a giant thing and I don't wear mohair. So I'm making this for her. And I think it'll look cute on her. The colors are beautiful. Like if I was gonna do mohair, absolutely some pink and some green. Really the only time I like pink is when it's with green. So it's pretty, but I'm not gonna wear it because it makes me itchy. And yeah, I have, how many balls of this do I have left? Okay, I have this, which I would guess is somewhere between, like somewhere right around 50% of a ball, and then 4 more. This is the brand. Soft, comfortable, skin friendly Wuyan yarn. I don't know if that's how you say that. I'm sorry if I butchered it. And then does it have a fiber content? No, it doesn't even have a fiber content. So I'm saying it's mohair, but I don't know if it's mohair, but it's like kind of itchy-ish like mohair. Like it feels fine in my hands. Like it feels like a mohair silk sort of thing. It feels fine in my hands, but I am really worried that it would make me itchy. That's for my aunt. And I would like it finished this year, which seems possible as long as I'm putting in, I did the math on this to figure out that 6 rows would get me there. 6 rows a week would get me to finished sometime in the fall. And now we get to scrappy blankets, which I have 4 to show you because I do work on them actively. This is not including my reading blanket, which I'll just show you during the vlogs. So I have a bias strip blanket. It's not a pattern. I just knit strips on the bias and then I crochet them together. And this particular strip is using Advent leftovers from the Cozy Knitter 24 stripe Advent, and I like to knit a stripe on this a week. I don't know what just happened with my tripod. Oh, my foot is in the laundry basket. I imagine I moved my foot. The laundry basket hit the tripod. So yeah, I do a stripe a week and it's enough to keep it going, but like not a ton of progress because it's not the most interesting project. But I love it and I think it's so beautiful and it's going to be so amazing when it's done. I have a blanket that is made up of these very sweet, teeny, solid granny squares, and it is Totoro Starry Night. It's so cute, but my goal is just to do 1 square a week. This blanket is going to take me 10 years. It's fine. I'm also not really planning on buying a lot of yarn for this blanket. Like, I probably will for the Totoro itself because it's gray and white, and then there's black for the ground. So I probably will buy those colors, but as much as I am able, I want the background to be scrappy bits of yarn. So I think it's turning out so cute, but it's not going to look very impressive because it's only 4 of these tiny squares a month. So I don't know that I'm necessarily going to show you this one every month. I'm kind of thinking more quarterly. Show you what this looks like. I also have my nor'easterly, which I have 3 strips going at once on 1 needle. I guess one's on hold technically right now. So this strip over here is being made using yarn from my friend Tracy. She made 2 magic knot balls for the channel forever ago, and I used one in a giveaway and she said I could keep one if I wanted to, and so I kept the darker, moodier one with greens in it, and it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I love it. And then this strip right here is green yarns. So they have to be predominantly green. I used, for this section right here, it was Haverland Minis that I had left over from making socks. But next up, a while ago, many years ago, I'm sorry, I keep kicking the basket. I did a advent calendar called A Certain Shade of Green, and I pulled green yarns from my stash and split them up. And I also purchased a few greens to like round out my number. So I have sent back from Haley these minis. She used them in her blanket and then she sent me back the scraps. So I want to put these in to this strip right here. And then the third strip, which is on a minder right now, can be anything. It can be, I have this little bag in here that my friend Lisa got all of us for the ZK. It's so cute. It's gruesome, but it's cute. And it's just got a bunch of leftover yarns, mostly like rainbowy, but they're not all rainbowy, but just mostly colorful. And so that's what's going to go in that strip. And I don't actually have a goal for this blanket every week. It's kind of like just what I'm feeling. Do I want to do the whole color? Do I just want to do a couple rows? But forward momentum is good. So it sits on my shelf so that I can grab it. And my last scrappy blanket that I am actively working on, because I have more that I'm not actively working on, is a linen stitch blanket that I need to have finished by June so that I can give it to my niece. And I have been failing at my goal on this one. This is the only project that I really feel like I'm failing on, because I want to do a stripe a day so that it can be done on time. The problem is I have to look at this project in order to do it. And watching vlogs is not a big enough distraction to be able to work on it, because I cannot read and crochet on it. It's linen stitch, which means that you're crocheting one, chaining one, skipping a stitch, and crocheting one, but the crochets go into the chain spaces that you made on the previous row. So like, I have to look, and it's not mindless, but it's not so mindful that just having something on in the background is enough. And I feel like it would be fine if I was like out with people. Like if I had a making group that I hung out with, it would be good for that. But I don't. So I'm really, really struggling to do an average of a row a day. But I need to so I can finish this blanket. So I don't know. Do I start taking it to work and crocheting on it on my lunch break? I don't know. Because I'm not going to take it to my boyfriend's house, because then it'll end up all covered in puppy glitter. And even though my niece's house has animals, I don't want to do that. Because Luxable, my boyfriend's dog Lux, she is part shepherd, and so she just sheds everywhere all the time. Just shed everywhere, which is fine. But I just don't want it to get on this blanket. So I don't know. Do you have any thoughts? What would you do in my position? Because I don't really watch TV shows. Unless I'm at my boyfriend's house. And I forgot a project. Okay, I'll tell you about it in a moment. I don't really watch TV shows at home. And like, I feel like a TV show would capture enough of my interest, but it would be okay if I looked down fairly frequently depending on the TV show. I mean, what I need is a crafting group, but I don't really have one of those. Because the teachers who I'm supposed to meet with every other week at school for an hour, they've canceled the last 3 months. So I'm kind of just thinking of like canceling it, because the tism in me is like, F it, they don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. So I don't know. Oh, look how pretty it is. Look how beautiful. I'm sure there are repeat colors in here, but I don't think so that there's a lot of repeat colors in here. It's so pretty. I just need to work on it. All right, let me grab that other project. All right, so my last long-term whip is the Diamondback socks by Kirsten Hall? I'm pretty sure. They are so cool. So can you, where's a good place? So I have, nope, that's the one that I wanted to show. I was looking at it, not showing you. So it's really, really cool. They're kind of knit modularly. Like you knit short rows to make these diamonds. Very, very cool. A little bit intuitive once you get the diamonds set up, but it's short rows, and they're very short rows. Excuse me, because the maximum stitch count is 20 stitches, which means there's a lot of breaking. So it's really beautiful. It's really lovely. But I have to concentrate, and at this point, I've done 2 tiers. They're called tiers in the pattern. 2 tiers. And I don't have the pattern memorized, although I think after this next tier I will. But also I have to look at it. I have to, because there's like a special stitch that you have to do, and I don't even think I'm doing that special stitch correctly, but it's like, I think it's working okay. So yeah, this just takes too much concentration to be anything but a project where I like work on it while I'm seated somewhere and can concentrate. Not 100% a home project. Like this I did take to my boyfriend's house because it's small, it's portable. The yarn's in a bag. I also have a yarn bowl that lives at his house now, so like I have options to keep it from getting dog furred, but I couldn't, like I worked on it at his house when he was at work and I was just with the dog. So that's why it's a long-term project, even though it's just a sock. It's not just a sock. It's a very, very cool sock, and I'm super excited for it. The yarn is from Spartickes Dyes. It's going to take me a moment every month, I'm sure. It's the Will and Grace sock, superwash merino nylon 80/20 in the Ferris wheel colorway. It's so fun. It's so pretty. Marigale hasn't dyed in forever, so you can't get the color from her. But it's so fun. It's just going to take me a while because it's very technique heavy. It's very cool, but it's very technique heavy. And during the school year, I do not have the ability to work on things that are this technique heavy on a daily. All right, so that is all of my long-term whips. And I guess I should define long-term whip for what I consider a long-term whip. It's something that I don't work on consistently. Or like, no, it's something that I do work on consistently, but not a huge chunk. It's not a focus project. And it is going to take me a significant amount of time, like more than a month. So if I think I can finish something in a month, I'm not going to count it as a long-term project. And if you want to see those projects, you're going to have to come to the vlogs because honestly, most of my finishes in a month are not going to be long-term projects. They're going to be a month or 2 type projects, and it'll be in the vlogs. But I will go ahead and put the little mini FO and like finished objects for knitting, crocheting, and cross stitch and sewing. I did a lot this month, as well as pictures of the books that I finished this month. Let me know, what do you think of this kind of long form podcast thing for my long-term whips? What do you think? Does it make sense? Was it enjoyable? Because I definitely can't commit to like doing a sit-down podcast every week, but I think I can do this wrap up once a month. So yeah, let me know what you think. All right, friends. Like, comment, subscribe, do all of the YouTubey things, and I will see you again so soon. Bye for now.